Alright, what's up everyone? So today we are talking about our JBA headers. You know what? Unfortunately, we gave these things a really good shot, even though the reviews on Summit were par, if that. You know what? They suck. I would never ever buy JBA headers again. Unfortunately, people complain about the welds a little bit and stuff like that. It's like, some people are just too, critic about stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna give them a try. Like, they're, I think, like $600 we paid for these headers, and they actually got more expensive, but these were just kind of like your bare metal ones. But regardless, we paid $600, which is a good, amount of money for headers. So, and I'm just gonna show you guys. They ended up, anyways. Long story short, they ended up leaking on our RAM. At first we thought it was our fault and maybe head gaskets, even though I double and triple checked everything. It wasn't. We put new head gaskets on, and we had found the leak on these headers, and it just wasn't great. So just to show you guys, we got some of the, here's some of the weld. Let's see if I can get the camera view right for you guys. So, alright. So in here, there you go. So that's the inside welds there on these headers, which in my opinion is not great. And at any point really you can get a bad spot to where there would be a leak here. To go on the outside of the header here, what really stunk about these, and I don't think it's technically their fault, but getting the bolts on these headers, some of these were really a pain in the butt. Like there's one right there, that was difficult. Getting inside here wasn't the best. So definitely having the right tools for the job, definitely going to pay off on something like this, but it still stunk for us. That weld isn't bad. That's just your standard emblem there. Those are okay. It's one, see, got inside here. I wasn't a fan of that, and that's actually where we were leaking from. You can't quite, I don't know if you could, if I get close enough where you see the pinholes or not, but there was holes inside. I think it might be, no, it was this one. Inside there. And anyways, that's where we were leaking from. But it was no bueno. It was a small leak, but it was enough to really annoy us. On to the next header. Again, not your worst weld. I'm not going to completely beat up on them, but just seeing how these are pieced together. Same, see that? Yeah, that's okay. Have a little ding there that they did so you can get your bolt. That's where you got to put one of your bolts in right there, which was great. Again, not great. I mean, you guys could be the judge here on this. I didn't like that there's like little debris like this in here. So, and I honestly didn't notice this stuff before, but now that I'm really looking at them, but so that stuff could break off, and if it were to float back into your valves, which when you do these, you'll see that the valves are right there. So any blowback, for whatever reason, that metal's going to get inside your valves and can mess some stuff up. So that's no bueno. And then here's the inside of this one here. Some debris, not horrible, but unfortunately they leak. Wasn't a fan of how this was plopped on there. You could see there's a little pinhole right there. So, and these have maybe about 3 months on them, if that. And they leaked right away once we put them on. Unfortunately. And like I said, I thought it was my fault, and it ended up, it's not being. It was the darn headers, and unfortunately, had to take them off. So we ordered these headers from Summit actually, and do I believe that they could have did more for us? Yes, but what they offered us is, at first I told them, like, I could fix them if I could fix these headers. But I said the issue is going to be is once I put my welder on these, that's going to void the warranty completely, right? Because they had a one-year warranty. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, there's no point in me trying to fix part of the header here, and then something else fails, and now I don't even have a warranty to just send them back. So and they offered me 20% off for me to do the work. And so it just wasn't worth, you know, I think it ended up be like $100 or something like that, like maybe a little bit over $100. It's like, no, that's definitely not worth it. So our other options was to get a brand new replacement set, and I just wanted nothing to do with these headers anymore. And then the other option was to get a refund. So we ended up getting a refund. We're going to send these back right now. Actually, I'm getting ready to pack them up. And we just went with the stock manifolds, because I'm going to tell you guys this. There was zero power difference, and I don't know. It barely sounded any different. If anything, I feel like it was more in my head on how the truck sounded better. Once I put the manifolds back on, I couldn't even tell a difference. Am I surprised? Yes. The way the manifolds are restricted, you would think that these headers would be night and day difference, even just with the sound, but it's not. It is absolutely no difference. So I'm going to keep that other video up just for reference as far as installing headers and all that, but I am going to have to go back and change some stuff on that, just because I don't necessarily want to promote you guys buying these JBA headers, obviously with this video, but you guys got to make your own decisions on this stuff. But me personally, I would not even bother with shorty headers, and unless it's a race truck, I wouldn't bother with long tube headers. It sounds a little bit better, but I tell you what, I didn't have anyone running up to my truck asking me if I had shorty headers on my Ram. So it's just what it is. There's plenty of other stuff you can do to your truck, make it look better, make sure you have, you know, a nice full exhaust system from the cat back. You know, there's plenty of other stuff you could do. And I just think between all the time I putting these things on, it failing, and then I had to take them right back off and put the stock, you know, manifolds back on, it was no bueno. So only other thing that you guys would say, well, I want to put headers on to keep from snapping bolts, right? Well, the other thing you could do to help with that is, I've heard by reading all these forums and all that, is that you have your manifolds resurface after they've been warped. So pretty much we take up, you know, the brand new manifolds. The issue is that they're warping as they warm up, or they heat up, you know. So now that your manifold's already warped, now you'd have it, you know, evened out, and then run in some good ARP bolts, and honestly, you should be good. So not gonna lie to you guys, I was just so fed up with everything, and I spent money on ARP bolts and the gaskets, and it's like, I'm just done. I bought some bolts off of Amazon, or maybe it was Summit, I forgot who it was, but got just some plain old Jane bolts that had good reviews. I put the NACs on them, torqued them in, and that was the other thing too, is that with these headers you couldn't even torque your bolts in. So wasn't a fan of that. Back to the manifolds, everything's torqued down proper, and we'll just make sure if we end up keeping the truck for a while, we'll get back at them in 20, 30,000 miles, whatever. Because honestly, if they're not broken, they're easy to get to. As far as on the manifold, they're easy. So if you catch it before stuff starts breaking or getting seized in there really bad, you know, we've hopped on a lot of anti-seize, we should be good. So not worried about it at all, but that's my review on these JBA headers, guys, and just putting headers on your truck. Hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think, but till then, we'll see you later.